I am really excited to be back today. I'm really excited for all of your comments on Instagram that made these videos possible. If you haven't checked out Instagram yet, it is _ourfreshlife_ @_ourfreshlife_. The whole point of this series of videos is to compare different products, different ingredients lists. I think it's sometimes difficult, even though sometimes we may think something is healthy because something on the packaging tells us that it is. But one of the things that I talked about in our last video was one of the tools for you to start making better choices was to look at the ingredients list on the packaging of your food products. So what we're gonna do today is compare two different things. So this is gonna be a series of one item versus another. Similar item, but different ingredients list, different brand, different company, different philosophy. So today we're gonna talk about maple syrup. Maple syrup is a big deal for me because honestly, when it comes to foods, it's one of the major contrasting options because one is nothing like the other in some cases. So we're gonna talk about that today. So I went to the stores and I bought a bunch of different varieties of maple syrup that I could find. And we're gonna talk about some of them. So let me just tell you the ones that I got. First of all, I have Mrs. Butterworth's Original. Number 2, I have Log Cabin Original. Number 3, good old Aunt Jemima. This is Butter Rich Syrup. Here's another option, Log Cabin. Same brand, different option. Trying to appeal to two different audiences. Actually, I forgot one. Hold on. And I forgot Sprouts Organic Maple Syrup. So we're gonna compare these. Do you guys know that there's a massive difference between each of these? Some of them are obvious, some of them are not so obvious, but it'll probably be very clear to you that my ultimate choice is gonna be this guy, but we're gonna talk about why, so that when you guys look at your maple syrup in your cabinet or in your pantry, you will know exactly why it is what it is. Okay, so ingredients on, let's just go down the list. This is, again, Mrs. Butterworth's Original. It doesn't give us any claims on the front, which is probably good. The ingredients list for this are high fructose corn syrup, water, and then 2% or less of the following: cellulose gum, salt, cane syrup, caramel color, sodium hexametaphosphate, sodium benzoate, and potassium sorbate, natural and artificial flavors, citric acid, molasses, lactic acid, mono and diglycerides. Yuck! I shouldn't have to tell you why this is bad, but in case you need to know, the high fructose corn syrup and the corn syrup are the very first ingredients and the only ingredients, mainly. Everything else is additives. So this isn't syrup, this is corn sugar. That's all it is. So this is not maple syrup. So if it says syrup, it doesn't say maple syrup. But if you think that this is maple syrup, it's not. And there is not one single good thing in this for your body. So, yuck. The pricing for this and this, obviously this is 32 ounces, this is 24 ounces. It's quite a big difference. But when you use this, I don't know how used you are to your kids drizzling syrup. They usually drizzle a lot, and it's because you need a lot to get the consistency that you're expecting from this. So with this, you really need a teensy tiny little baby drizzle, and that makes up the difference. So this actually this lasts our family quite a while, and it's because you don't need very much, because it's the real deal. So this, bleh. All right, Log Cabin, let's see you. Now, this one does make some claims on the front. It says no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial flavors. Okay, so that is something that wasn't on this, and this was in the ingredients for this, but let's read what's in the Log Cabin. Ingredients: corn syrup, water, sugar, contains 2% or less of the following: salt, natural flavor, sodium hexametaphosphate, sodium benzoate, and sorbic acid. Those were both preservatives, as the ones in the other ones were. Caramel color, phosphoric acid, mono, and diglycerides. So some crossover maybe a teensy tiny little bit better than this, mainly because it doesn't have as much corn syrup in it, but also the really big negatives to both of these are that there's really nothing good. There's not a single good thing and only bad. Anytime you see natural flavors, that's usually a hidden term for MSG. And also, when you realize how much corn is in most of the things that we eat, another hidden source of corn or a derivative of corn is citric acid. And so citric acid is in both of these. Nope, I'm sorry. Citric acid is in this one. And natural flavors also usually a hidden term for not so good, but they think we like the word natural, so avoid those things. Next, we've got Aunt Jemima butter-rich syrup. That should tell us something. And here's what I didn't like about this one that's kind of frustrating that you need to be aware of. The front of this one, this is actually why I bought this one. It says natural butter flavor with other natural flavors. Because the buzzword now is that natural is great, but don't be fooled, because natural doesn't actually mean anything other than they think that's what you want to hear, and so you'll buy it if it says natural. So, natural butter flavor with other natural flavors, but contains no butter. Duh. All right, so here's what's in this one. Similar to the two prior. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, water, natural and artificial flavors, salt, cellulose gum, sodium hexametaphosphate, sodium benzoate, and sorbic acid, and caramel color. So all three of these, I wouldn't touch them with a 1,000-foot pole, but it's because there's not a single good thing in them and only bad. Next, this is Log Cabin's answer to what they think people want. So let's just talk about this one. It does have the non-GMO verified seal, which I like to see. It is not organic, but it says all natural table syrup. That should tell you something. Naturally sweetened, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors. Again, all buzzwords that a lot of us like to see. But don't be deceived. You still have to look at the ingredients, because this packaging is a lot more appealing to me than this packaging, but let's read the ingredients. Might not be awful, but still, what is it that they're trying to get you to buy? So we've got brown rice syrup, water, sugar, brown sugar, natural flavor, xanthan gum, citric acid. Still, same thing, sugar, 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 but not in the form that is actually beneficial glucose to your body. So again, if you look at the back of this one, let me just read these off. Total sugars, 22 grams in a 2 tablespoon serving. This one, let's see, 12 total sugars in a 2 tablespoon. This is the one that had the corn syrup and not the high fructose corn syrup. Okay. This one, 29 sugars in a 1/4 cup serving size. And this one, 40 sugars in a 1/4 cup serving size. So that tells you something there too. All right, so zero syrup in this as far as maple syrup. Just a really sugary sweet syrup made from brown rice. All right, again, not my top choice because there's nothing beneficial still in this. It's just sugar syrup with no benefit. Finally, let's compare this last one. Okay, maple syrup. This is organic. It's a Sprouts brand, so it's definitely not name brand, but it's still organic. Here's our ingredients. 100% pure maple syrup, organic. That's it. That's all. The biggest benefit to this is that maple syrup is a great source of glucose, which is really, really good for your brain. So even though there's a lot of sugar, it's a sugar that is glucose, which is food for your brain. If you're gonna have syrup, again, you really barely need any of this, and the serving size on this one is also a 1/4 cup. We probably use a tablespoon at a time, you know, if we're doing some of our buckwheat pancakes. but this by far is my top choice. Anytime you're looking to buy syrup, always look for pure maple syrup. There's no need for anything else. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 ingredients. 17 ingredients, Mrs. Butterworth's. 1. Okay, it kind of shows you, even though this is trying to sell you on hot keywords, this is trying to sell you on letting you know it doesn't have the things that are the bad guys, but this is just 1 ingredient. That's it. So don't overcomplicate the things that don't need to be overcomplicated. This is my choice. 100%, of course organic, but pure, plain maple syrup. That's it. Anyway, so guys, go take a look in your pantries and see what you've got. Do you have syrup, or what you thought was syrup, or was it just not real syrup? All you're getting in these is corn, artificial flavors, preservatives, and coloring. That's it. There's no benefit to any of these. They're just not. So I don't like them. Anyway, take a look in your guys' pantry and tell me in the comments below, did you find that you had one of these other types of syrups, or have you guys ventured out and tried the good stuff? Let me know. It's 1,000 times better and you barely need any. Leave a note in the comments and let me know if you have any other ingredients that you would like me to compare. I like doing stuff like this because it gives you an idea of how to read labels and how to understand what you're reading, and just kind of on that first step of looking in your pantry and seeing what you actually have and where you can just make easy swaps. This right here is an easy swap for this. You don't have to get rid of syrup or the need for syrup. It's, hey, instead of buying this one, I'm gonna buy one that actually has a benefit. So that's my whole philosophy with all of this is make trades for things that you know could be better, that are beneficial to the body and not detrimental to the body. All right? Let me know any other questions you guys have in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna keep doing these food comparisons each week for a little while until I run out of ideas for what to compare. So let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.